Hey everybody, Lumpy Dog here, coming to you today with a tour of my aquariums. Now this doesn't include ponds, just the aquariums. Right here on screen is Cygnus. He's the only fish in the basement that has a name. So he always gets top billing. He's showing off a little bit, so I figured I'd start off with him. Yeah, he's a little showboat. Alright, on with the tour. First up is a 75 gallon. It's a crypt jungle. I don't really aquascape much. You'll see that in here. I just let things go crazy. Do a little trimming now and then. In here are turquoise rainbows, an orphan swordtail, a couple of guppies. I like to keep some guppies in here. They slowly disappear with Cygnus in the tank. That's all I'm going to say about that. And there's probably a orphan little butterfly cichlid or two in here. And Cygnus still showing off to the top left. This tank is well established and takes very little maintenance. Next up on the tour is a 46-gallon bowfront. Now this is yet another crypt jungle on gravel. This has got Neolamprologus cotylopunctatus, or cotylopunks. Started with a handful of these, and they bred out one really good time to make this little group here, and they've pretty much been on hold ever since. I don't do anything but take care of them. Again, this tank is very, very low maintenance. Water change, maybe monthly. The crypts are pouting a little bit. A fluorescent light finally blew out the fixture, so I swapped it over to LED light, and the crypts are pouting a little bit. Not too bad, haven't had any melting yet. So, these are the cotylopunks. They're kind of interesting. Another low maintenance tank full of crypts. Hey, guess what? Another aquarium full of crypts. This is a 55 gallon. This is currently a turquoise rainbow fry grow out. There are also some Daisy's blue rice fish in here, a couple of cories, a pleco, and there might be an orphan. Actually, I know there's an orphan African butterfly cichlid in here that I just couldn't catch. This is also on pea gravel. The first three tanks are all very, very similar. In fact, the crypts are all from the same starter crypt from years and years and years ago. Very low maintenance, very low maintenance. These guys are going to be looking for a new home soon, but right now I'm just having fun growing them out. 55 gallon turquoise rainbow grow out. Next up is a 90-gallon aquarium. This is my largest one. There's some crypts in this one too, although they don't look great. I have tried to scape this a little better, and the occupants do not tolerate anything that has easy, light, delicate leaves. They just get eaten. But in here, we've got 4 electric blue acaras. We got a batch of polar blue parrot cichlids. I gave away most of these. There's a platinum angel, a couple of neon rosy barbs. I think there's an orphan platy out there to the right. There's a pleco, and again, some African butterfly cichlids. They are so good at hiding when you try to drain a tank out. There are also about a dozen little cories. I think they're Paleatus, longfin cories. At the bottom is a cleanup crew. I really need to do something better with this tank. Just haven't got around to it yet. Next, we're on to the first 20-gallon long. Now, this is a keep it simple, stupid tank. This is black neons and white cloud mountain minnows, along with some cull neocaridina shrimp. The culls are primarily brown or lack color. But anyways, we got the black neons and the white cloud minnows. These are simple, hardy, inexpensive fish, but I think they look fantastic. So this is yet another low-maintenance tank probably gets about a 20% water change monthly. "20-gallon long number 2 is full of longfin cherry bobs." Now, most of these little buggers were born down here in the basement. Also in this tank, and probably hidden away, are a few cherry shrimp and an amano shrimp or two. Probably need to get more. I'm looking at that moss, and it's looking a little bit furry, full of hair algae. "20-gallon number 3 is full of Daisy's blue rice fish." Also in here, quite a few amano shrimp, and you can see the moss looks a lot better in this tank. This tank is also fairly low maintenance. Matter of fact, the amanos seem to be pretty active. There's one right now, just kind of hanging out among the fish. These little rice fish are very, very handsome in person. The camera just doesn't pick it up very well. Another low maintenance tank. Don't do much with it, maybe monthly water change. The last 20-gallon long is a cherry shrimp tank. Now, these are just an average grade of cherry shrimp. I'm not all that effective at culling. I get kind of lazy, so I do pull some out now and then. There's some nice looking shrimp in here, but these are not A grade by any means. I just like having a shrimp tank. So these guys, they do a pretty good job of cleaning up and eating. They've been breeding quite a bit. I pull shrimp out of here from time to time. They're a little active right now, haven't eaten yet. And it's a nice, easy little tank to look at. Again, this one's ultra low maintenance. The shrimp don't eat very much, so there's very little waste to deal with. Here is the first of 5 10-gallon aquariums. Now, all the 10-gallon aquariums are basically just holding tanks. I keep fish in them to keep them all cycled. Pretty much just have them available for babies, fry, any new project I want. This particular one has some goldish colored guppies. These are mutt guppies. I pulled out some gold fry, threw them in here, let them mature. Again, they're keeping the tank cycled. Nothing fancy about this. Probably a couple cherry shrimp in here with them. A little 10-gallon sitting almost on the floor. Happy little guppies. Next to that is another 10-gallon tank, very similar, except this has got a couple balloon mollies keeping the tank going, and I think there's an odd guppy in there just swimming around. Not sure how it got in there. Also some cherry shrimp. This tank has been up and running for quite some time. I could put anything in here I needed to at a minute's notice, but for now it's the little mollies and the guppy and a couple cherry shrimp. Nice little tank. Again, not overly scaped. It's just plants growing. I trim occasionally. That's how I do things. Another 10-gallon tank. This one I just trimmed up last week, so the back used to be a whole lot of bacopa stems, but I cut them all down. They'll grow back pretty quick. This was primarily a red cherry shrimp tank. Funny story, when I bred out all the turquoise rainbows, after about a month of having all the eggs hatch out of the mop, I tossed the mop in here just to keep it nice and wet and semi-cycled, and these guys popped up. So these little rainbows took a month or more to hatch. Kind of funny. I've caught a few out, but they are really good at diving into the weeds. So for now, these little turquoise rainbow fry are living in a 10-gallon, which isn't going to last long, but it is what it is. Again, low maintenance tank. Trim it up a little bit. The shrimp keep everything kind of algae free. And these little rainbows, I know they don't belong in here, but they found a way. This little 10-gallon tank is kind of a mosh pit of strangers. In here we got some ember tetras, maybe half dozen or so. We got, 3 or 4 green neons. We got a couple of the Daisy's blue rice fish and a couple of male guppies. Also loaded with cherry shrimp. This tank been established forever. I have to cut it way back every once in a while. But again, crazy low maintenance. I don't know what's going on with the guppy grass. It's been in here forever and ever, and all of a sudden it's got a big die-off. But hey, is what it is. There they are. You'll see there's some embers. There's a green green neon making an appearance. Nice little tank. I can do what I need to anytime with this tank. Sitting almost on the floor. And the last tank on the tour is yet another 10-gallon tank. This is mutt guppies and one little long fin white cloud minnow that was born down here. It is several years old. It's the last survivor, so I put it in here just to live out its best life. The guppies, again, they're just mutt guppies. They come out of the guppy pond, which is not included in this video. Super low maintenance tank, although this one does run a little bit lower on KH for some reason, and I do a little more often water changes just because of the lower KH. The nitrates aren't too bad. Pretty low maintenance though. Mutt guppies, just living in a little 10-gallon, keeping it cycled. Thank you for watching the video all the way through to the end.